Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is the No XP Show. This is Q's Tips. I'm here with Empty Chest. We're going to be talking about the PlayStation VR today.
So we actually had an opportunity today to go down to West Edmonton Mall and experience the PlayStation Live. It was great. We both went in line a few times, so we got to play almost all the demos. There was a few that we weren't really too intrigued by, so we just skipped over them. What was the first demo you played?
One I checked out first was Eve Valkyrie. Basically, all the demo showing us was just a space shooter. You're just cruising around in your spaceship and blowing some shit up.
I didn't really have too high hopes for that one. It's just a regular space shooter. I was kind of expecting to be a little less than it was, but it actually performed pretty well. Being one of the first titles available across all the platforms, I should have been expecting it to be putting out what it was. I didn't notice any lag. I tested that. I tested the unit out pretty hard and shook my head around looking for some sort of lag. There's nothing I noticed. I normally do get motion sickness, but with that game I didn't get any.
I was actually pretty surprised with the demos I played today. I didn't get any problems with motion sickness or anything like that. And I did the same thing. I was trying to look around, trying to make myself get sick, but I couldn't do it. The Eve Valkyrie though, I was surprised and disappointed in the game all at the same time. The graphics are great. Yeah, a lot of the VR titles that are out right now, the graphics are almost old school. Like they're almost going back in time with the graphics and things like that. I feel like games like Res Infinite and Battlezone and Super Hypecube, like they look a little old school graphics. But Eve Valkyrie had some pretty good looking visuals. Nothing too outstanding as far as VR goes. I felt though.
I think what they're doing right now is they're starting with a solid base that they can run at a steady 60 frames or higher, just so you don't get that motion sickness, and that's why they've brought down their graphics. But I feel like when you start getting into the Gran Turismo Sport and stuff, we're gonna see that level jump up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced with the Vive and stuff that they're starting to push that a little bit. And some of the graphics, you'll see that more on the games like Into the Deep, the Ocean demo that I tried. They definitely brought the graphics up a little bit because there's not a demand on the system, and we might even get more from the actual games and titles when the Neo comes out.
Right.
Yeah, so one of the other demos that we got to try was Into the Deep. It's a game where you're slowly lowered into the water. A lot of people have probably seen it already. A shark comes and gets you, whatever. It's more of just to show off what the system graphically can do. And I feel like it did a really good job. You could see the pixels a little bit on the dark edges when you move back and forth to light, but just slightly. You'd have to really look for them. Like I was looking for them. I wanted to see what was there and wanted to see the limitations of the system, so I tried to put them to the max as I was testing this out. And you said you played Battlezone, right?
Yeah, I checked the second demo I did today was Battlezone, and again, that's one of the games that that looks a little bit old school. The graphics and that are like a little blocky, a little cute looking, but I was actually really impressed with the gameplay. The controls are very smooth, like switching between your weapons and the targeting and moving around, strafing with the tank. Like everything was really smooth, really fast, and it was actually really enjoyable. Like I didn't expect a lot just from my initial impression of seeing what it looked like. I didn't expect a lot, but it was a really enjoyable experience, and I can't wait to see what the full gameplay brings.
Yeah, definitely when you first put on a VR system, if you've never tried one and you just watch videos, the second you put that on, you experience like entering the game, not just seeing it through a 2D screen. It doesn't compare to 3D movies or anything. It's its own demon. It's its own thing. But I've told a few people that wanted to try VR are a little hesitant about it, and they're not impressed with what they see on the screen. And definitely, when you put it on, it's a next level.
Oh, big time. Yeah. Everything I watch YouTube videos and all those other videos online a lot, and but once you put on the headset, it's a completely different thing. It's like it's an immersive experience. It really brings you right in and makes you realize right away that VR is something different, something special. When you can see the controller in front of you, look around inside the tank or inside your ship or things like that, and you see displays of your weapons or your ammo and things like that, and you can see the paddles or the control of the spaceship or everything around you can see. And you, even from playing the demo and watching someone else play the demo in line ahead of you, it's completely different. Like what you're seeing on the TV displayed of what they're playing inside the headset doesn't do it justice, not even close.
Oh yeah, not even close. Yeah, I was another game that I actually had an opportunity to play, which I know that you didn't. They were showing off the Heist, which uses the Move controllers. So I understand why in the middle of the mall they don't want you to use the Move controllers and flail around and hit people. But yeah, Move controllers are definitely the way to go. I don't see too many people building games that are too immersive using the DualShock, when you can use 2 Move controllers, which literally put your hands into the game, which gives it a whole different feel. Like when I was in the Heist demo, you're sitting in a truck and you've got guys coming up your side and you've got to load clips and pull them out of a bag and quickly shoot these guys as they're coming. And they do a really good job because they have you sitting down and they also have you grabbing things with your hands, and it works perfect. I heard a few people online saying that they noticed some lag with the controllers and stuff, and I didn't experience that at all. I don't know if it has to do with the lighting in the rooms or the different backgrounds that you're working with, but when they played it in EB Games, it was perfect. I had no issues at all, and out of all the titles, that definitely was the best experience that I had. It was totally immersive. It felt like a real game. Like, it had story, it had some meat, it made you want to actually finish the mission and get the job done the way that you needed to. It was good. It had me opening up the doors and leaning out and trying to shoot guys and pre-grabbing clips and trying to plan for when other guys are showing up. That's definitely the best title that I have. If anybody goes and tries this, they should try the Heist if they have the opportunity. Which game out of the ones that you tried would you suggest somebody?
Well, unfortunately for me, I've only tried the 2 demos today, and that's my only experience with it was the Eve Valkyrie and Battlezone. But from what I've seen, like Riggs, the Mechanized Combat League, that looks pretty impressive. I'm pretty excited to play that game. I've seen some gameplay for Golem. Even the Job Simulator, it looks entertaining, even for as basic a thing as it is. But I think that's exactly what we're looking for with the PlayStation VR. Is that that's what puts it ahead of the pack for me. Is that it's more of a classic gaming feel rather than the Vive where you're walking around or something like that. Like, I'm played games my whole life, like sitting there with the controller in your hand and the headset on your head. Like, that feels like gaming to me. I don't want to be up moving around, walking around in a confined space, a limited space, trying to navigate a game. Like, the idea of sitting down and just being able to use my hands and my eyes to be able to control the game and play the game. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, they actually do have a few games. Like Job Simulator is going to be a game where you can stand up and play. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a few of those. I totally understand what you're saying. How many people are going to have the room that's needed for a Vive, for the Vive to thrive properly? It's going to be those hardcore PC gamers, and a price tag for them, it doesn't matter. If they want it, they're going to get it, right? Just like the brand new PC, they're going to keep pumping it out. Yeah. I definitely think the PlayStation, I think is going to definitely succeed because they actually have the backing, and being able to put something out on PlayStation and the Vive, you're going to see more titles for the PlayStation. Even like the PlayStation, the Oculus are kind of kind of similar. Like they don't require the same kind of space that you do for the Vive. So you're going to see more titles coming to the PlayStation. More titles that involve sitting down. Like imagine a racing game and you're playing with the steering wheel rather than playing with a controller or something. It's going to be a really immersive feel when they can control where you are. Like I know with the Vive, they've got you warping space to space. To me, that takes you out of the game. Mm-hmm. Like I would rather have a joystick and kind of move around on the back of my controller than warping and portaling or whatever. There's going to be a few games that's kind of fun, but I think it's going to get old and it's going to be something that it dies out quick, and they drop the full scale room and they just go back to small stuff.
Yeah, I think it's going to limit the experience for gamers, and I think it's going to limit the Vive and its resaleability. Like I don't know how big of a draw that's really going to be for a lot of people. But that was something I was really happy to see, going to see the demo today. The setup they had basically was like 4 little living rooms, 4 TVs, 4 PlayStations, and a chair set, and 4 chairs set up. You just like walk in, sit down, throw the headset on, everything like that, and start playing. And it was no bigger than the room that I play my games in. And I was happy to see that. Like I don't need to move furniture around. I don't need to renovate my house, anything like that. Like I can just go pick it up from the store when it's released, and I can start playing.
Yeah, you can literally go plug it in at an IKEA setup and
exactly.
play there. Like,
exactly.
There's more than enough room. You might have to buy the TV and plug it, but it's okay. Yeah, I definitely love the VR for the PlayStation. It's definitely one of the lighter machines.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with the headset. The adjustments and how it feels on your face and on your head, like it was just a really impressive piece of equipment, I thought.
They did it smart. Like I wear glasses, and I've played the Vive, and I've played the Oculus, and now I've played the PlayStation. It's the only one that makes it easy, that I don't feel like I'm gonna wreck my glasses when I put it on or take it off.
Yeah.
It's an easy slide. Like they put it on like a hat, and then you've got these 2 little sliders. You push them in, and you can just rest it. There's nothing forced onto your face as well. It's just rested on your face, so you don't have that stupid red ring after you've played for 10 minutes. Yeah. It's just lightly touching there, just enough to block out the light.
Yeah.
And it's not hard plastic, and it's not foam. It's a light plastic. I can't even think of any materials, anything that's got it. It's like it's almost like a cloth. It's a rubber cloth. That's kind of what it feels like. It's very light. It's easy to use. It's easy to take off, put on, and it's easy to get to that sweet spot. I know with the Vive, you kind of almost have to strap it in as tight as you can before it gets out of that blurry. We'll say each VR system has a sweet spot. They might not say that they do, but they do. They all have little tweaks, little adjustments, so your eyes settle in where they need to be, and then suddenly everything's clear. If you've played a VR system and they're not clear, you might have a couple little pixels or stuff, but it should come out clear. It's not going to be blurry. I've had a few experiences where I've put the headset on, it's been blurry, you just fiddle with it, maybe you've got it to the left, to the right, not close enough to your face. Eventually you'll get to that sweet spot and everything goes clear. And with the the PSVR, it's super easy to adjust to that sweet spot, rather than with the Vive or with the Oculus, for sure.
Yeah, it's very, very comfortable, and it's secure on your head, even though it feels like it's just resting there, and it's not gripping your head in any way. It does feel very secure, and like you said, like it's just very easy to adjust. Like the Vive, I had some problems with the straps, and I couldn't get it sitting properly. And when I went for one of the demos to play that game, the one time I just let it go. I didn't care. I was going to play the game, and that was it. I wasn't going to keep messing with the headset. The straps and adjustments on that one were just a pain to me. Like I could see bringing that home, and over extended use, like you could see it like wearing out and things like that. Whereas the PSVR, like I don't think that thing's gonna wear out. It's a true piece of like gaming hardware that's gonna take the bumps and bruises, and you're gonna use it over and over again as long as you don't touch the lens. It's got to be clean. The first time I put it on today, they told me to adjust it, and it felt blurry and stuff like that. And looking around, none of the adjustments were working, so I took it off and I got them to clean the screen with the microfiber wipe, and that's all it was. There was a streak from the top corner to the bottom corner going across like my full field of view, and that's all it was just a streak from the last person wearing it.
Yeah, no, I think that comes from in between each use. They've got they're extensively sanitizing them, so they wipe it down after every time. So you get a wipe, it's going to touch the corner. I think it's more because nothing ever touches anybody's face.
No,
so
that's true.
I think it's just that.
Yeah.
Because I had the same experience. I seen a smudge. I didn't even put it on. I knew what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I seen the smudge. I asked her to clean it.
Yeah.
It went on. No problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything being rubber, it is easy enough to sanitize. I know with the Vive and the Oculus, they've got that foam. Imagine sweating in that for like 2 hours and then passing it to your friend to show it off.
No, thank you.
We're sharing juices.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I definitely recommend the PSVR. It's if you can get one.
Yeah,
I know they're already sold out.
The pre-orders are gone.
I got one. I stood in line. I watched them unlock that door, and I got the pre-order. Fuck that. There's no way I wasn't getting it.
I'll be waiting for Christmas or later.
Yeah, I noticed. I took a look at the actual where the system hooks up, which I will add a picture. I'll post a little picture. It's a tiny little box that plugs into your PlayStation. It literally looks like a miniature PlayStation 4. That it looks like the HDMI cable comes out of the back of the PlayStation, and then you have another one that goes into your TV so people can view what you're viewing. And then they have two cables. I'm pretty sure one's sound and one's just for the headset. And those come out, and then there's an additional connector. It's about 3 feet from the headset, and that's kind of where everything plugs in. I think that's the safety. So if you get up and run, it's going to disconnect there. I didn't look too close at that, because once you're at that point, you're either going to look awkward leaning around somebody trying to take some pictures, and once you got it in your hands, you're going to put it on. You're not going to fuck around with it too much.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah.
It looks really easy to hook up.
Oh yeah.
Like everything PlayStation.
Yeah, that's true. But it's great to have that safety feature. I can only imagine getting up and running away if I'm going to play some Resident Evil on there. That thing looks scary as shit.
Oh, that's the other thing about a system like this. They're going to have some good exclusives. They're going to have some names, they're going to have like the Final Fantasies. They're going to have, I noticed that they've got Battlefront. X-Wing is going to be an exclusive for the PlayStation. They've got the Resident Evil. I think they're doing a Silent Hill, but I'm not sure if that's going across platforms. But that's kind of on the same, Resident Evil feel.
Yeah. Doom is supposed to be going to VR too, isn't it?
I think everything's going to go to VR.
Oh, yeah. It's the future. Everything's going to be on VR eventually.
Yeah. I guarantee you that later early next year, they're going to have patches for everything. Oh. I know Fallout's already VR or it's coming out VR for the Vive, but having that technology, it's one patch away or one downloadable content away from being able to play on the PlayStation. Yeah. And to me, like a game like Fallout would be amazing in VR.
Oh yeah. But again, that brings me back to like comparing the Vive with the VR. Do I want to actually explore the wasteland by standing up and walking around for hours and hours? I know I've put like hundreds of hours into Fallout 4 already. Do I really want to walk around that much?
Yeah.
Do I want to strap on that annoying headset with the Vive and walk around for hours trying to explore the wasteland, or another vault or whatever? Or I can just sit down and have a classic game experience, play 4 or 5 hours of Fallout, and be comfortable.
Oh yeah,
and don't sweat.
Well, even with that, like, for example, I could never see a Call of Duty type game coming to the Vive and using full scale. I could see a Call of Duty working where you stand in a room and you've got a gun and you 360 around maybe.
Yeah.
But even at that, it's kind of pushing the limits.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine games like that are going to work really good. You know, just sitting back, kind of like a vegetable, like you see on space movies where everybody's just zoned into these VR systems, and just using the controller and just having a close-up view of what you're shooting at and having kind of a peripheral vision on the side. Like, I would love to see somebody running out of the corner of my eye and be able to look and then turn my gun and shoot them.
Yeah.
It's gonna add like a whole nother level. I know they'd have to hash it out because it's gonna add a totally different gameplay and mechanics to the game, and running on walls and shit would make me sick as fuck. Playing Call of Duty, I would puke. It definitely like a slower base game, so you're gonna see first for shooters like Farpoint. With its accessory is definitely going to be a good game to see how that works. Like, that's pretty much Halo for the VR. Yeah. It's going to work really well with the accessory that they have. That's kind of the concept that I was thinking when they started talking about first-person shooters and trying to hack games on the Oculus to work for your Grand Theft Auto and stuff. You need to have something that will allow you to shoot, but also allow you to walk. Because 2 move controllers and leaning forward and stuff, we've tried this on like Xbox Connects and Wii games. It's stupid as fuck. It works for a little bit, but it is lame as fuck after you play the game for a little bit, trying to lean forward to make your character go in a direction you want him to. I don't want that.
Yeah.
There's no way I want to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's everything we got on the PlayStation VR. If we've left anything out, or we haven't talked about any games that you guys want to hear about, leave them down in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll have more videos coming ASAP. I think we're doing Titanfall 2 next.
Yep.
Awesome. Take her easy, guys.